Every single fight, this guy would deliberately dominate his opponent with overwhelming power, making them too scared to even fight back. Then, right on cue, he'd throw what looked like a killer punch. The crowd would go wild, completely convinced by his strength, but the moment everyone bet everything on him winning, he'd get knocked out cold by an opponent who was clearly worse than him. That's the reality of life at the bottom. Throwing fights didn't feel good, but in a world this brutal, it was the only way to survive. So he swallowed his pride and accepted it. But after every rigged match, he'd take his frustration out by tearing through the streets at full speed on his bike. It was the only way to release all that bottled up rage. One night, after another fixed fight, he was speeding down the road again when he swerved to avoid a pedestrian and crashed. The woman he nearly hit pulled out a business card and told him to contact her company to sort things out. He was about to take it, but the second he got a good look at her face, he flicked the gold card away in disgust. It wasn't that he didn't want the money, it was because this woman was Yukiko, the billionaire who organized armored boxing matches. See, in this city, obsessed with fighting, the ruling elite had developed a sport where mechanical armor was fused directly into fighters' bodies. They called it the ultimate combat sport, a perfect blend of fighting and technology. But Joe despised it. He mocked Yukiko right to her face, saying her tournaments were nothing but a bunch of savages beating each other senseless. What he didn't realize was that his words had ticked off the man standing next to her, Yuri, the reigning champion and the most powerful fighter in the sport.
今の言葉を取り消せ。だったら教えてくれよ。ただの殴り合いじゃねえ。本物のメガロボクスってやつだよ。野良犬には分からんさ。
But even standing face to face with the champ, Joe wasn't intimidated. He raised his fists, and for a second it looked like they were about to throw down right there. But the moment passed.
ずいぶんしつけられてるじゃねえか。犬ってのはどっちのことだよ。行きましょう。
Yuri didn't take the bait. He ignored Joe's trash talk and walked away with Yukiko. That should have been the end of it. But the very next day, as Joe was getting ready for his next fight, a man walked into the underground arena without making a sound and asked for the stray dog by name. The whole place erupted. Yuri had come specifically because of Yukiko. Joe figured out what this was about right away and fired back with another taunt. The old man in Joe's corner nearly had a heart attack. He didn't know what Joe had done to provoke someone like Yuri, but he knew exactly how terrifying the champ was. Yuri's prosthetic limbs were built with the most cutting-edge tech available, while Joe was still rocking outdated, beat-up old armor. But Joe wasn't hearing any of it. He knocked the old man right off the platform. Yeah, he'd been throwing fights to put food on the table, but he was sick of that life. Now, for the first time, he had a chance to go toe-to-toe with the reigning champion, and there was no way he was letting that slip away. When it was all said and done, Yuri finally asked Joe his name.
野良犬にそんなもんねえ。